Did I cut my hair? No. No, I didn't cut my hair. I just put in a little bit of Dapper Dan, and we are ready to go. It is greased to my scalp and ready for another show. Was it actually haircut day? No, it was not. But it's looking good. We're not as out of control as if I look directly on and don't shift my head this way or this way. We look all right. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. This is the only hour and a half to 2 hour long haircut podcast going. No, it's not. It is the Political Spotlight. And I am your host, Kristopher H. Bilbrey. This is episode 169, giggity. The Machine. This is The Machine. Welcome to The Machine. That didn't really sound much like Pink Floyd, did it? All right, hey, I hope you guys are doing well. I am out of Facebook jail, ladies and gentlemen. No, Grandma didn't cut my hair. That's not something she did. What my grandmother did was taped my ears down. That was what she did. It was the other grandmother that cut my hair. This grandmother taped my ears down so my ears didn't stick out like they do. So when I was a little kid, I used to do this to my ears when I would sleep on them. I would fold them over, and so that would cause my ears to stick out. So she would get skin tape and tape them back to my head. So I didn't have ginormous ears. I'll have to say she failed because I have big ears. So she needed more tape, apparently. No, Joe, that is right. One is truly never out of Facebook jail. We are all just in this suspended state of differing types of Facebook jail. And honestly, it's all really just actually Facebook hell. That's what it actually is. So we are out, folks, and I am in the process of give me just 1 second here. I'm in the process of sending these. Let me make sure I've done what I needed to do. Let's see. 1, 2. Oh, no, I missed one. What's. I found it. Haha, you were hiding from me. Okay, I am now shared to all of my groups. We're shared to the different places in and around the internets. We are on Twitter. We're on Facebook. We may or may not be on Rumble. I'm not 100% sure just yet. I don't know how that really works. We're definitely on YouTube. And for those of you that are on YouTube, please do the thing that YouTubers do. Please like, share, subscribe, and all of that crap. What you're going to want to do is if you are not subscribed to our channel, please do so. Please subscribe. It's very helpful if you subscribe. Once you hit the subscription knob, the subscription button, you can then hit the bell to set up your notifications if you want to get notified when we go live, or if you want to get notified when we drop shorts or static videos or other content, and you'll want to hit that bell. Please comment. If you are watching live, comment in the live chat box off to the right-hand side. If you're watching this on repeat, comment in the comment box below. And above all else, share the show with everyone you know. That is most important. So, hey, folks, I am so happy to be back. Let me tell you, we've had a couple of really good kick-ass shows the last couple of nights. We had Ryan Webb on, and it was a really good show discussing Delaware County politics, currently what's going on in Delaware County from the perspective of a county councilor. Then we had the amazing, the dynamic duo from Madison County on. Dr. K and Cindy
Pawn shot.
pawn shot. I was gonna say it backwards. I was gonna say shot pawn. I was like, I know it's not that. Pawn shot. So Cindy and Catherine were on. I would have been better if I just did that. They were on last night. We had a great show last night. And then, ladies and gentlemen, some complete insanity occurred today. And it just fit right in there snugly with what I was already going to talk about. So we have another amazing show on tap for you tonight. Of course, this is the big Thursday night show. It's the best show of the week, some would say. It's the very, very best show because it's the last show of the week. We, of course, will be off Friday and Saturday nights unless something just absolutely insane happens. I am planning to take tomorrow and Saturday off. We will be back, of course, on Sunday. We are here 5 nights a week, Sunday through Thursday. And so we are preparing to take Friday and Saturday off unless there's some kind of breaking news. And of course, we're hoping
if you don't take Friday and Saturday off, you're going to be on here on your own.
Yeah. Are you going to tell them what's happening? The next 2 weeks are going to be weird.
Well, I'll still be here, and I won't be on the JD interwebs.
Yeah, right.
I might actually have good connection and stuff.
Good connections. Yeah, right. JD will find you where you are. It doesn't matter. He knows where you've been sleeping. Or
we'll
something.
Be on federal land, though.
Federal land. Yeah, she's going to an Indian reservation. Non-federal land, I guess, would be the Indian reservation.
I'm going to visit my oldest for 2 weeks, and I'll be watching grandbabies.
Yeah, but it's going to be on the other side of the globe, so the time's going to be completely different.
Yeah, so we'll be in Washington State.
We'll be on. We'll be. What is that? Mountain time out there? Pacific time. So we'll be on at 9 p.m. Eastern.
6 p.m.
6 p.m. Pacific time.
It'll be entertaining.
That'll be so weird.
Yeah, chasing a 1 and 2-year-old trying to cook dinner and podcast simultaneously.
So I'll be able to. Yeah, right. I'll be able to predict the future for you out there. I'll be able to tell you everything that's going to happen at 9 p.m. And of course, it'll be 6 p.m. where you are. So maybe you might be able to hit the lottery and share it with me or anything if something big happens like that. I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen when it's 9 o'clock here and 6 o'clock where you are. That's going to be so weird.
I don't know. I have to fly and I get to time travel. It's going to be awesome.
Yeah, right. So, it's going to be an interesting next couple of weeks while Kate is away doing grandbaby details. So that'll be fun. I keep saying this. I don't really know. When, but I think Brando is going to try to make an appearance on here coming up in the next couple of days. I know they are still doing the move thing. That is torturous. I think, did Cindy just say that she and Catherine have a big surprise? Hey, Denise, if your screen is freezing, you need to go to YouTube. If you go to YouTube, it won't do that. And I can send you a link if you need me to help you. I will send you a link right now. And then if you click on that link, and you should be able to do what you got to do. Hold on here. I'm going to send you the link right here, and it will be easy for you. I just sent it to you there in Facebook. hey, did you know Russ Willis didn't know he was elected as the GOP chairman? I would assume you were going to say he didn't know he was elected. I don't understand that. What did he think he was? While we wait for Catherine to tell us that, I will let you guys know. Here's the deal. Tonight's show, it's called The Machine. Tonight's show is, I'll just go ahead and read you all the little blurb here. I said, okay, folks, it's time to tear apart the machines in Delaware and Madison counties and work to stop a machine from being built in Henry County. What am I talking about? Tune in tonight and let's find out. And the blurb says, when the people in charge of the machine are the people in the wrong, it can seem like a long uphill losing battle. But the way to overcome it is just to never give up. We can wear the machine down. We are close now in so many ways, in so many areas. We're going to be taking a look at the insanity of the machine. By that, I mean like the political machine, those people that are using everything at their disposal that most of us don't have. And so it seems like they just have all of this, laying around, all of this extra oomph that they can use to try to get over and keep themselves in positions of power. But I believe truly that we are wearing them down. Now, it's my belief that the machine is currently underway and it's fighting in Delaware County to stay in control. And it's fighting in Madison County to stay in control. Now, in Henry County, it's a little bit different. In Henry County, the machine had been disabled. Right now, there's not a machine in place. However, John Sproles is attempting to gather that machine up. By that, what do I mean? I mean political figures that are working together to scratch each other's backs rather than do the will of the public. Those people that come together and then they work to keep each other in office and to avoid doing things for the public, and they keep themselves out of trouble. That's what I mean. Like a great example we're going to be looking at tonight is the fact that the Delaware County Redevelopment Commission basically put out a campaign mailer for James King. Now, in everybody else's eyes, that's completely insane, and that is not something that should be going on. It's not something that is okay. It is not something that I'm telling you, it's really, really crazy what's going on. And it's that kind of crap that a candidate can see and say, how can I win against this? But that's where we, the citizens, have to step up and say, hey, we got you. We can help you. We can take the pressure off of you. And you have a bigger team than what you know. And we can all stand together and do what is right to take this machine down, because it's not beneficial for the citizens for things like that to be in place. You know, I always think about Tammany Hall, you know, and things like that. When you think about that, if for all of you that were history students and students of history, and you remember the whole Boss Tweed thing and the whole thing in New York. I think it was in New York, yeah, where they made sure that this large grouping of people that were in place to protect one another were never damaged and never removed. That way they could all scratch each other's back, and it's not good for the public. It's not good for the citizens. And that's what we've got going on in Delaware County. That's what we've got going on in Madison County. That's what we've got going on at the state level. And now that people are aware of this stuff, we need to fight against it. It's what Sproles is trying to build at the in Henry County with putting his plants in place. And so it's, it's just kind of it's kind of interesting. So tonight, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be talking about Delaware County and what I'm currently talking about in Delaware County. Then we're going to talk about Madison County, because I do have an update. We're going to listen here and see what Catherine's talking about Russ at this meeting tonight. And I'm going to tell you some updated information that I have, which I think will make Russ a little sad. And then we're going to talk about some things in Henry County. So it's going to be an action-packed night, and we have a lot to talk about. Before we get started here, I do want to ask Kate, those two things.
It's in the duck.
Okay, those two things are already in the duck. Profile. Okay, awesome. So in Delaware County, several people over the last couple days, maybe it really went through today. I don't know if this was something that had went through over the weekend or if this is something that all hit today, but I started getting inundated today by this. Okay. Look at this thing that we're looking at here. Now, what you're seeing on the screen is a mailer. It says Delaware County Commissioners sign agreements with 3 Italian companies. And it's got a picture of James King, and it's got a picture of Mario and Luigi, and then it's got a picture of Shannon Henry. And then it's got a picture of them down the side here doing their thing. And it comes in here and it tells, this is a amazing story for them all. It says Delaware County officials have successfully attracted new investment and business opportunities following a trip to northern Italy. Commissioners Shannon Henry and James King announced the success of their economic development efforts, where they engaged with 25 firms interested in establishing operations in the United States. This initiative aimed to promote East Central Indiana as an ideal location for advanced technology industries, resulting in commitments from 3 Italian companies: Gamma, Mecgiana, Trebly, SRL, and VI Technic to invest in Delaware County. And then it says one of the companies is a supplier to major automotive companies, committed to leasing a 1,500 square foot facility in South Muncie Industrial Center, bringing in advanced robotic equipment and creating up to 40 skilled technician jobs. Another company is a robotics firm with an existing sales office in Delaware County, and it intends to expand operations to a warehouse location, designating the county as its North American headquarters. And then the third company is a renowned family firm specializing in recycling plastics machinery, signed a memorandum of understanding to establish its investment in Delaware County. The company plans to address the growing plastics waste issue in North America. Okay. County commissioners emphasized the significance of diversifying the local economy, moving away from reliance on a few industries, and the new investments from these Italian firms contribute to the county's economic growth and provide residents with a range of higher skilled employment opportunities. With a total of 7 Italian firms now committed to Delaware County, officials expressed gratitude to the businesses for choosing the community and pledge ongoing support for their investments. Great, good. That's what they're supposed to be doing. Do they get a pat on the back? No, not really, because this is what they're supposed to be doing. Good for them, all right? But we also have to look at what else was going on. So what I'm hearing is one of these companies was already here, and they might be deciding to change how they call whatever's going on. Like, well, we're going to call this company the North American headquarters. Okay, maybe that's a big investment, maybe it's not. I don't know, but I'm not going to give the commissioners a cookie for doing their damn job. It's just what they're supposed to be doing. If they're going over and above, then let's talk. But this is things that they're supposed to be doing. County commissioners emphasize the significance of diversifying the local economy, moving away from reliance on a few industries. And then they talk about CanPack. Now, CanPack is a wonderful example of a thing that happened because a lot of different people were involved. It wasn't just James King and Shannon Henry. And if we're going to be honest about it, the state had the majority part in this. So we're going to have to give Holcomb and the state government a pat on the back more than we're going to give King a pat on the back. And I'll tell you, CanPack is the place that I think really soured the relationship between Ridenour and King, because Ridenour jumped up on the stage and he was trying to take credit for it all. And while he may have played a very, very, very small role in it, King was very dissatisfied that Ridenour was trying to steal all his thunder, even though King was trying to do the exact same thing to Eric Holcomb. So it's kind of like, that's comedy. And Mother, number one, why in the world would you be watching this on Facebook? And number two, I'm not 100% sure how many of our current residents work at CanPack. They say it's a facility that is ran by very few people. Tracy Lutton, that's exactly right. Tracy Lutton would have been the local person involved with that. And Troy Ingram is exactly 1000% correct there. If we're going to give a pat on the back to anybody locally for, that, it's going to be Tracy Lutton. It's not going to be Dan Ridenour, and it certainly isn't going to be Jimmy King. So, that's important to note. Now, we go into this backside here, and we see this. I mean, if you look at this, folks, this looks basically like a campaign advertisement. Now, I don't know if you can see down here in the corner very well, but I'm going to read it to you. What it says is, up in the left-hand corner, it says, Delaware County Redevelopment Commission, 1208 West White River Boulevard, Muncie, Indiana, 47303. And it's the postage was paid, and it goes to residential customer. Okay. Now, what's funny about this is this happened, and instantly people are like, wait a minute. Where is this? Where's this coming from? Who is responsible for this? Now, I want it known that several Delaware County officials immediately started swinging into action to find out what was going on here. I spoke to one of the members of the Delaware County Redevelopment Commission, and she said she knew nothing really about this, and she was looking at it. I spoke to one of the Delaware. I spoke to Ryan Webb on the council, and he knew very little about this. I know that he was talking about it. And then I saw a post several hours ago, posted about 6 o'clock from Matt Kantz, who's currently a Delaware County counselor for District 3. And Matt Kantz had a very long post about this. And I want to read his words because I agree with Matt Kantz in this comment. Absolutely. I agree with him wholeheartedly. Okay. I agree with him. Oh, I understand. I understand, Hummel. I get, I get what you're saying completely. So, you're Ejac, that's exactly right. You are 100%. There's a lot of this really neat, fluffy, foofy, oh, wow, we're going to have all of this great foreign stuff, and then nothing really ever comes to fruition. You know, we've signed a memorandum of understanding. We've agreed to do this. We've agreed to do that. And then in the end, it doesn't ever really happen. Okay. My inside guy says they are going full-blown commie union. I know they were fighting for that. I don't know if they actually did that or not. I don't know. That's interesting. I know that there was a big push for it, and then I heard it kind of fizzled out, but I don't really know what's going on there. I want to read this from Matt Kantz, and this is the post. I'm going to show you this here. I don't know. You might not be able to read this or see this as well as I can see it, but I'll read it to you. Matt Kantz, and keep in mind, Matt Kantz is a current sitting Delaware County councilor. He says, I've stayed out of the fray of this election season as much as possible, despite my explicit support of Stephen Brand for county commissioner. I also support my fellow council folk running for re-election and anyone else seeking to put their name in the hat because it's hard. But this self-promoting perversion of our tax dollars used to deliver a pseudo-campaign mailer to our entire county, which may cost upwards of $10,000 or more dollars, deserves an opinion. And how right Matt is. It is a complete misuse of dollars by the Delaware County Redevelopment Commission, of which I cannot find proof of approval to spend money in this manner. Nor is there any history of them using TIF dollars to do so previously. I have messaged with at least one member of the East Central Indiana Regional Planning District, the ECIRP Board, which is a nonprofit run by Bill Walters. The board of ECIRPD has not endorsed any candidate. However, this nonprofit that receives financial support from the Delaware County Commissioners is effectively running the current county commissioner, James King, and his campaign for re-election, with the ECIRPD phone number being utilized on his campaign committee's paperwork and promoted as the number of record for citizens to contact. All right, I want you guys to listen to that again. There is a nonprofit. It is called the East Central Indiana Regional Planning District, the ECIRP, okay, which is a PD, which is a nonprofit, and Bill Walters is in charge of it, okay? Nonprofits are not supposed to be involved in political campaigning of any sort. They're not supposed to pick people. They're not supposed to dabble in this at all.
they could lose their 501c3 status over this.
Yeah, as Kate says, we looked into this, and this is a no-no. Kate has ran and been involved with many nonprofits and has been involved with this, and this is one of the very, very first things. Matter of fact, early on, there were a group of us that got together and talked about doing a couple different things, and one of the things they wanted to do was look at doing a nonprofit. And when they pulled the rules up and they said, well, as a nonprofit, we cannot be involved in political. I said, whoa, 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 whoa. I'm out. I can't be involved with this because I'm not going to join anything that says I can't have an opinion. I can't post my opinion. I can't be vocal about, and I wouldn't want to do anything that would taint some organization, specifically if it's out here doing good. And so I was very clear about this when we had a meeting. This is very, very, very important to understand this. Okay. When you look up James King's election documents, the documents that he signed to run for office, okay, when you go to, matter of fact, let's do this real quick, so you guys can see, so you know that it's not just something I want to come with receipts to you, so you know that it's not just me telling you some kind of bull. I want to make sure that you guys are aware. Let me pull up my key here so I can tell you exactly. Delaware County filings email. Let me find James King, Republican Delaware County District. Well, okay, it's in the first email. Well, that makes it easy. Who would have thought? This would have been back in we're almost there, folks. I want to say it was the 12th. Yep, right here we go. Okay. Rick Spangler, and I want to say it was the first email. Pull this up. Brad Polk. Yep, there he is. James King's the last one. Double check what we're. Oh, that's his document. There's James King's amended form. Amended. All right, here we are. Yes, this is what we need. Okay, right here we go. This is going to be real easy to show you guys. So, ladies and gentlemen, when we are looking at this form right here, and you clearly see this, it says, James King, this is his committee. This is his CFA1, which is the candidate's statement of organization and designation of a principal committee. Okay, so this is him setting up his committee. Okay, so his information's on here. Okay, it's got this, yada, yada, yada. Committee information. Okay, and it's got the candidates, committee to elect James King, mailing address, chairperson's full name, William Walters. Okay. And when it says telephone number, okay, telephone is 765-714 7137000. All right. Keep that number in your mind. Okay. Keep that number in your mind. All right. 7137000. All right. I want to take you to over here, and we're going to look up the Central Indiana Regional Planning
I'm ahead of you,
District.
bud.
Okay, you got it on the
I did a
screen.
reverse Google search. I typed in the phone number as you were saying it. And look what
Yeah.
popped up.
Okay, here it is. Contact East Central Regional Planning District, EC. Yep, right there it is. So, just so you guys can make sure that we're not lying to any of you here and we're not playing any kind of movie magic here, I'm going to do this for you here, okay? We're going to call 765. What's the number? 7137000. Okay. I'll
Is not available. At the tone, please record your message. When you have finished recording, you may hang up.
Okay, so I couldn't hear that on the thing. Did it say ECI or did it not say ECI?
If it did, you didn't have it up to the mic where we could hear it.
You couldn't hear anything at all?
No, I could hear the last bit of it, but I couldn't hear.
Okay. Well, I didn't get it onto the thing. However, ECI, as we see here, clearly is that organization. Okay, now in the middle of all of this, someone in the comments saying, I will look at that here in just a few minutes. I'll share that everywhere, Wanda. Thank you very much. If just Liberation Center, yeah, I will share that everywhere, Wanda. Thank you. No, Wanda is a man. I've left message after message after message there. I've asked for a couple of different things. I specifically left a message asking if they could confirm or deny that the nonprofit was supporting a candidate if they had officially come out, and if they haven't, if they could explain to me why the candidate's chairperson would be using their phone number for that purpose. So, it's very, very concerning that's the case. Okay. Now, going back to Matt Kantz's article here, his comment, he says that this phone number is obviously attached to Bill Walters. It says the board of the ECIRPD has not endorsed any candidate. However, this nonprofit that receives financial support from the county commissioners is effectively running the current county commissioner James King's campaign, with the ECIRPD phone number being utilized on his campaign committee paperwork and promoted as the number of record for citizens to contact. If this is not a blatant, unethical conflict of interest, I am not sure what is. Old school Democrats in this county would use taxpayer dollars in this self-serving way, but I thought Republicans were above that fray. Apparently not. I will be making it my mission to be sure it is publicly known as such. Why would DCRC suddenly send out a mailer touting past successes exactly? These things mentioned on this mailer that was sent out today are not new things. CanPack is up, it's operational, it's they did the groundbreaking ceremony on that 2 years ago. This is not a new thing. I believe Commissioner King is being given terrible campaign advice, and I hope he corrects these continued conflicts of interest during this election. Sadly, it takes away from the successes that we have seen in economic development here in Delaware County and the success he and other commissioners have had over the years. Listen, James King, while I don't like him, and there are lots of dirty things about him, there are some good things they've done. However, all of these missteps are going to overshadow those good things. I agree with Matt Kantz wholeheartedly. And what I think is nuts here is the fact that Matt Kantz is a normal, good human being. He wants to believe that these people are on the up and up. Matt Kantz wants to believe that he can say, I will be making it my mission to make sure that it's publicly known. Why would the DCRC suddenly do this? I believe Commissioner King is being given terrible campaign advice. No, Matt. He's not being given terrible campaign advice. This is all things that he is perfectly okay with. Matt goes on to say, I hope that he helps correct these continued conflicts. He's not going to do that. He's going to stay right in bed with it because he loves it, because he thinks that this is going to help win him the election. He's not appalled by this.
$10,000 of postage?
Yeah, right. Right. That would be
That's
fantastic.
That's, the Republican committee house, whatever the hell it's called.
Yeah. Same thing.
Sending out flyers.
It's the same thing that Brandon's investigating. Yeah. It's the exact same thing that Brandon is investigating with the House Republican Committee at the state house. It's the exact same damn thing. And let's see here. Webb says, these things make it embarrassing to be an elected official in this county. I'd consider not being one, but then the people wouldn't have anyone calling out this nonsense regularly. I take exception to that. You mean they wouldn't have an elected official calling out this nonsense? Webb goes on to say, King is calling the shots, and he's exactly right. This is King Playbook 101. This is the Democrat Playbook 101. This is Mike Jones 101. This is what they do. This is how they react. Okay. It's not just Matt Kantz that called this out. All right. If we look here to Ryan Webb also, obviously, other than being on here and calling it out, Ryan Webb shared these. Ryan Webb said, this is what soft corruption and misuse of taxpayer dollars look like involving local elected officials. How embarrassing. Okay. And Ryan is absolutely right. Absolutely right. This is what soft corruption looks like and misuse of taxpayer dollars. Now, when I say to you, ladies and gentlemen, it's the machine that people are up against, this is what I'm talking about. Because listen, Troy Ingram doesn't have the county giving him $10,000 worth of mailers to send out. Brand doesn't have the county giving him $10,000 worth of mailers to pass out. They have to spend that money of their own. If Brand had the unlimited funds, he had the county's money at his disposal, you know what? He wouldn't use it, because he knows bloody well better than that. If Brand had the county's money at his disposal, he wouldn't do this. And this, ladies and gentlemen, is why we need a brand new day in Delaware County. Okay? It's the taxpayers' money. It's the taxpayers' money, not King's. King doesn't know that. Yes, Brenda. Brenda has a question. Ask away, Brenda. While she's doing that, I want to show you guys something. Okay, let me see. Give me 1 second. Let me pause this. See what you're saying here. So if there are other counties that are members, are they endorsing candidates in all counties? That's a good question. I will need to look into that. I don't know. If you want my answer, Brenda, sitting here as we sit here, without it, you want my educated guess? I have not looked, and I don't know, but I can give you an educated guess, and that educated guess is probably going to surprise some of you. The answer is no, I don't think they have, and I will tell you why. In other counties, they're just taking people's money and they're making money hand over fist, and they're doing some good things and they're doing whatever, but they're playing it a little bit more by the book in those counties because it doesn't really matter. They're just getting money from them. In Delaware County, they are playing a little bit more loosey-goosey with the rules because, number one, it's their home county. Number two, book out is like more or less, in some weird way, almost related to King. He's not related to King. There is no relation. But Brad Bookout is the son-in-law of Mike Jones. Mike Jones and James King are basically attached at the hip, front to back, I believe. And so basically it's like there's like this connection there. And so they really, really, really are going into overdrive trying to help ensure that King wins re-election. Because if King does not win re-election, there's a very good likelihood that Brad Bookout goes away as far as in Delaware County. Now, maybe he doesn't. I don't know. But that's what they're afraid of. Ryan Webb says, interesting how in the campaign flyer they mention in the last 4 years they are even talking in election. Yeah. Right. That's exactly correct. That is exactly correct, Ryan. This is a campaign ad. I'm sorry. But that's what this is. This is a campaign ad without coming right out and saying Jimmy King, okay? They're throwing everybody in the mix, but this is 100% a campaign ad. It's gross. So, Brenda, that's my answer. Now, that being said, I probably need to look and see. I see you there, Stumblefoot. That's exactly right. You are 100% on that. And so I will take a look and see kind of if they're doing this in other counties or if they're not. I would say if they're connected to other people in other counties, they probably are pulling they're pulling the weight behind those people. But I would say in other counties, they're pretty much doing it by the book, and they're only doing this craziness here in Delaware County because it directly affects them. I'd like to know what not-for-profit postal number was used for this. That's really good, Amber Green. Kate, can we find that out? Is that something that we can find?
It'd be public record.
I was going to say I would think so. And even mentioned book out by name about, yeah. Right, Ryan. That's exactly true.
It'd be really interesting to see if it was the Republican Party that paid for it when it's stamped with the...
No, well, that's what I'm going to show you up now.
Oh, more.
So, yeah, here's what we're going to look at here. This was found here. And this is big. So this is the Redevelopment Commission meeting from November 2nd, 2023. So this is last year. As we see, James King is on the board last year. All right. We're going to jump to about the 10-minute mark. Okay. I'm going to let you guys hear what
the playground equipment is just over $50,000. In a quick conversation with Tom Roberts, I believe our goal was that the town would fit in and commit $25,000.
Next, we'll go to proposal for county info mailers.
All right, listen. King just brought up. Next, we're going to go for a proposal for county info mailers. Now, listen, this is what he's talking about. Listen.
A few months ago, we had a gentleman come in here and they put out a flyer or a little booklet on what's going on in the city of Muncie. And we all talked that it would be good, but we wanted something more to go along with the Delaware County for what we do, where it's like on the Delaware County Redevelopment Commission or Delaware County News or something. I asked Brad to reach out to Red Elephant to get us a quote on doing something like this. I believe you sent that out to everybody.
I did. You should all have received this proposal prepared by Mr. Whitehead, who's here today.
But we all discussed it. We thought it would be good for people to actually know what we are doing as a county with the Redevelopment Commission. And just wanted to get everybody's thoughts on this.
We've done a lot of neat things that we need to put out to see.
Looks like we've got 3 companies that's looking at properties, plus we have another 3 or 4 that are supposed to come within the next few months to visit us. And it'd just be nice to start putting that out there so people know that, you know, we're bringing manufacturing back here. Not only that, we're building trails. There's just so much that we're doing that a lot of people don't know.
There's just so much we're doing.
I can jump in with a little bit of background on this. You know, the Starcrest is currently understaffed. We don't have a representative of Starcrest.
Yep. Red Elephant is Victor Whitehead.
This body, in the last 2 years, I believe, has probably funded the paving.
I have not mentioned King in uniform yet.
And so,
yeah, there's Victor Whitehead. Speaking of the Red Elephant in the room.
The public is not always aware of how that happens. That's one.
The red elephant in the room is right here.
Shared with the public and others. Trails. This body's also paid more trails than any other county organization I know in the state. There are over 10 miles of trails that's been paid, over $10 million worth of trails. General public doesn't know that. They just know trails got paved. As James said, we signed memorandums of understanding with 3 Italian companies 2 weeks ago. A press release went out to Star Press 3 days ago. I've heard nothing back on that. It's not been in the newspaper. I think it'll be in the Muncie Journal possibly today. Inside Indiana picked it up 2 days ago, and it was statewide news, but public in Delaware County doesn't know about it. So this is a way to get that type of information out to
Wanda.
the public, so that they can understand what's happening at a county level. They can understand county government, what they're doing to benefit the community. So thought was maybe 3 to 4 mailings a year go out to different.
3 to 4 times a year.
Could do county-wide, could do sections of the county, for doing a specific project, but have the ability to be nimble and to make the public aware of what's happening. So we don't have situations where people say, I didn't know it was happening. I didn't know you paved a trail, around the corner from my house.
It's like the study that we had at the industrial.
What up, Wanda?
Environmental study.
Yes.
A lot of people don't know that we've done that. We know a lot of times people say stuff, about how we take money from schools and all that stuff, but nobody knows like how we're helping Delville, how we
Yeah.
help Westdale and other communities
Absolutely.
with TIF money. I think it would be good, but as a board, I wanted to get everybody else's thoughts on it.
Oh my
I
God.
believe we've helped every incorporated town in Delaware County.
Mhm.
I need to share that. Definitely.
So to do a 35,000 mailing, according to this, total price per piece with design, postcard, print, prepare the mailings, and then the United States Postal Service direct door drop comes to about 34 cents per card. So it's it's an affordable way to get the word out. So, yeah.
Is it just print? Or is there media in it too?
This is just print. This is just door the postcard to your door. So,
We could add it to the county website. I mean, that'd be allowed.
We can add it to the website, yada, yada, yada,
yeah,
they're talking
you
about.
could also put this on the
Okay.
website.
I want you to listen to
You can
this.
Pick it up. They-
Right.
We get ready to come up here
Right
to
now-
14 minutes. They're going to listen.
Exactly.
You've always benefited from the transparency. Brad, you need like a motion to move forward?
Do you need a motion?
If you guys want to move forward with it, we can make
Do you want to move forward with it? Listen.
a
I think a
to
motion
have-
and a second
Yeah.
to approve it by the
to
board.
approve it, to have Brad work with Red Elephant and,
We'll probably have them-
however we want to, like you said, if we want certain areas, like with the playground with Delville, if we just want to put that in the Delville area, that this is what the redevelopment commission's doing. The manufacturing and stuff and everything, you could go through a broader.
Stuff and
but we
everything.
could work with Red Elephant, each time we want to put one out, and then just make it to where it's paid for out of all the TIF districts.
I think a motion for this body to authorize Commissioner King to proceed, because this is just proceed with an actual engagement letter.
A motion to have Mr. King proceed with an engagement letter.
Approved by the attorney would be a good way to go.
Yeah, I'd like to add in there some things. I mean, you guys have a lot for Delaware, not just the playground.
Right.
and that. So, like the park, the town hall, all the brownfield things you cleaned up. I just think you guys have done tremendous work
Mhm.
in Delaware. So, anything we can do to remind you, of all the pluses. So,
But we do a lot of work, but I don't think a lot of people understand what we've actually done, like
Huh.
Isaiah's house.
Listen to this guy.
And some of the other
That's another
stuff.
great point to sit down.
People need to understand, that we're spending this money wisely.
Yes.
We're spending this money wisely.
I'll motion for James and Brad to move forward with Red Elephant.
Second.
A motion and a second, all in favor, say aye. Aye, any opposed? Okay, we'll move to, the invitation to Isaiah's.
Yeah.
That's
Just
it.
information, lunch from
That's
12.
it. They made that motion. But as far as we're concerned, and unless they bring something forward, they never came back and they never voted on an approval. There was never a second vote. I've never heard or seen any other follow-up vote. They introduced it, but I have not heard, I've not been able to find. Now, what he says in here, and maybe it was too quiet, maybe you guys didn't hear it, and this is what kills me. He says, it would be nice if maybe there was a way that the people of Delaware County would have to know what we're doing in here. Let me show you. Right here. Look at this. Look at this thing. Look at this. This is the way. Here's the problem, though.
Well, and the newspaper also reports on this.
Very rarely, not very, very, very rarely. I will.
I mean, if there's a big project though that's coming through, like CanPAC, that hits the paper.
The newspaper will. Yeah, something like that. Yeah. Now I will say the newspaper does not give the RCDC nearly as much print time as they do the MRC, and you know that it is what it is. I wish they would do better. I wish we had actual reporters. And matter of fact, I'm finding out that we are losing David Pinnicuff. He is retiring here in, I think he's going to ride out with the solar eclipse. I think it's like Hail Bob Connolly. Solar eclipse is here and he's gone. And so that's that. But they are going to report on this, though. The newspaper is going to report on this little whoopsie daisy here, this corruption, this misuse of taxpayer dollars. This is gross. James King, you should be ashamed of yourself. Bill Walters, you should be ashamed of yourself. Brad Bookout, you should be ashamed of yourself. What
exactly did they vote for? Because I was having a hard time.
I don't know. They voted for King to go forward to ask questions and to try to get some information from Red Elephant to then bring back to the board so they could then vote on if they were going to do this or not. They did not approve anything. They did not approve a cost. They did not approve an expenditure. They did not pay any money out or approve any money to be paid out.
So they approved researching it.
They approved researching this.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, that's what they approved. And that's why I'm saying Bill Walters, Brad Bookout, James King, and Victor freaking Whitehead, they should all just be absolutely disgusted with themselves and what they've done here. They thought they were going to get over on people. And for the love of God, they didn't think or know that someone was going to call them on this bullshit. I wish we at least had a better class of criminals. These people are dumb. This is nothing but a kickback plan to their former chairman to the tune of $4,500 per year. Absolutely. That is exactly what it is. This is disgusting. This is gross. And listen, I hate to say it. I think it makes me a negative Nelly, but I hope this costs them the nonprofit. If you're this stupid to be involved with all of this, if you've got the campaign number ringing, the phone ringing at the nonprofit, you need to seriously look at what you're doing. And I'll have you know that we have not seen Brad Bookout We've not seen Brad Bookout in 14 days. He is gone. He has been gone. He is missing in action. No one has seen him since the 14th. So I don't know what he's got going on. Kate, who would invalidate? Who would be in charge of doing stuff with the nonprofit?
The IRS.
The IRS.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you can file a complaint with the IRS. In fact, you know what I'll do?
What?
Here you go, everyone. Ta-da! There is the link.
Oh, right there it is. Okay.
The IRS complaint process for tax-exempt organizations. So there is the link if anybody would like to file a complaint and send a picture of the flyer that you got in the mail from Delaware County. Along with, I'm sure Kristopher would be happy to disseminate copies of King's election filing.
Oh, yeah, that's no problem.
To show that the phone number seems to match up.
Yeah.
That is a serious problem for this nonprofit, which is a damn shame because they could be doing some really good work in Delaware County. But here we are. So we could also probably send to the Secretary of State and to the Indiana Inspector General as well.
Yeah.
Just some suggestions. I'm not saying anybody should do anything. That's just if I was going to complain, those are probably the three entities that I would complain to.
I like it. Since being involved with local politics, Councilor Troy Ingram says, I'm amazed. Candidate for commissioner, Troy Ingram says, since being involved in local politics, I'm amazed at the amount of skirting the law that goes on throughout Delaware County, and very few are held accountable. It's saddening. Absolutely. There's a Star Press coming out any day now regarding my request to the state for a forensic audit of Delaware County, particularly the auditor's office and the commissioners. And that's very big. That's something that, Ryan's been talking about for a while now. We've been talking about for a while now. The Star Press is finally coming to the table. Thank God, better late than never. I'm only hoping the public will see it and understand and wake the hell up. Wake the hell up. Ryan Webb says, I'll suggest it. Everyone should file a complaint against this corrupt nonprofit. And oh yeah, I've got no problem with that. Everybody should send this mailer complaint to the IRS. Everyone should send this nonprofit number. And Kate is right. If you need a copy to send your complaint out, if you want a copy of this, of his form, I will send this to you. Let me know if you're making a complaint. And I will highlight this. It's right here. Right there in the middle of the screen. I will highlight it. I'll send it to you. It's easy to see. Sure as it is right here. Right there. I'll send it right to you. I want to go back to what Amber said because Amber figured up the math. And that's important, folks. If so you understand. If it's going to 35,000 homes, that is $11,900. Now imagine if it's going to 35,000 homes 4 times a year. Imagine what that is then. So there's something to be said for not liking state-ran media, county-ran media, city-ran media. That's just not a good thing. It's not a good thing at all. All right. I do I do want to show you guys. We've had a lot talking about this episode. I do want to go back, and I probably am going to do that Sunday. On Sunday when we come on, I am going to go through the Delaware County Council meeting, this last council meeting, and I want to play it and just play it because there are a couple of big parts in there that you guys need to see where the auditor just absolutely loses his shit and is like quivering, and you can tell the way he's like looking at Ryan. There's some big things that we need to watch, but I want to be able to give that its due time. So I'm going to push that off, and we're going to do that on Sunday. We'll start out with that, and we'll do that for as long as it takes. But I just want to let you know this is going on in Delaware County, and we do have some more Delaware County stuff to cover. But right now we are moving out of, we've been in Delaware County. Okay. We've been in Delaware County. Right now we're moving out of Delaware County. We're moving into Madison County. And I have to tell you all about the big news. So last night, if you recall, last night we had a big show. I had on the two women that were with me. They did a fantastic job detailing out the election board meeting the other day. It was episode 168. If you haven't watched it, go back and watch it. It's the Madison continues in Madison County, Indiana. Okay. And Catherine and Cindy were on. We did a great job. After the show ended, okay, we did a couple of really big things that were released on the channel, and I want to bring them to your attention. If you want to go back and listen again to the full phone call, we
Hello,
did
Russ.
release the phone call is officially released on here. Just the 8-minute phone call as it is. You can hear it here.
Hey, I was calling. I was trying to help Rebecca find out. I guess she said that.
Who is this?
This is Kristopher Bilbrey. How's it going?
Oh, wonderful. Yeah. Go ahead.
Okay. So Rebecca said that she's in violation of the law. We're just trying to make sure that she's not doing anything wrong.
Well, she is, and she asked, why she couldn't take pictures of the.
All right. So you heard it right there. He said that Rebecca is in violation of the law. All right. He said it right there, plain as day. Okay. And I want to let everybody know. I was concerned about what he was saying. I told you guys all last night that I did not think that she was in violation. I think what she was doing is perfectly right, and I stood by that. Then after we got off there, I got in my quiet times, and I got to thinking, man, I hope I'm right. I started questioning myself. Very rarely do I ever do that. I don't generally question myself, but last night, I don't question myself when I'm the one making the statement, making the claim, and doing it. But because Rebecca was on the line, that caused me to question. I'm hoping I'm not giving her wrong advice. Yada yada yada. So I woke up first thing this morning and I called my buddy Luke Britt in the public access counselor's office. Now, I will admit that I was laying in bed as I called him. I wish I would have been up in the studio. I wish I would have got my tired butt up out of bed and came up here and recorded it. Brandon Clower. I love it. I called my buddy, Luke Britt, who, I got to be honest with you, Luke and I have been at odds here in the last little bit. over the 1338 and all of that. Well, I called Mr. Britt today, and I got to be honest. I did you guys a complete disservice by being tired. I should have got my ass up out of bed and ran up here to the studio and recorded him, because he was in rare form today. Mr. Britt was not happy. Not happy. And I'm going to tell this directly to, I want to make sure that this is real clear, okay? Give me 1 second here. I want to pop this up here so I can have this. Give me just 1 second. I want to make sure I've got this popped up the right way. Hold on here. Let me see here. Before we go on, I want to be able to tell this story with my appropriate my appropriate little pop-ups here. Give me 1 second. Right, here we go. Oh yeah, this will be good. This'll be good. I cannot wait. Hold on. This will be worth the wait. Okay. Let me see.
So we get to watch you playing on Canva Live.
Yeah.
It's like watching paint dry.
I tell you, it's
Riveting.
wild fun.
Riveting entertainment tonight.
Yes. It'll all be
Come
worth
on,
it.
you're leaving us hanging. You've left off the punchline because you want to show a pretty.
Yeah, you'll like all this.
Oh, I'm sure I will. It's
This'll
just the wait
all
that's
be worth it.
interminable.
This'll all be worth it. I just need to hit the share download. This will be worth it. Let me tell you. So what I told Luke, I can tell you this part in the meantime.
Okay.
What I
That's
told
great.
Luke was, hey, you dealt with these people last year, and I think that they're mixing some things up. I think they may have slept since last year or something. And I just want to make sure that they're not getting something wrong, and they're not misquoting what the law actually is. And he laughed because, in all fairness, a lot of people do that. A lot of people hear something one time and they think, oh, that applies to everything. And you know, and it is what it is. And so they think that, you know, like, you know, I was told this, and this applies to literally everything. And so he laughed and he was like, okay, like, lay it on me. Tell me what the issue is. And so I told him that I thought that when Mrs. Crooms had called last year, that maybe she was a little off in what she was saying, and that then in their effort to try and, you know, combat her, that they were off in what she was trying to say. That all that Rebecca Crooms was trying to do last year was ensure that the public could see what was going on. She doesn't want the schematics of the machine. She's not trying to build a vote machine herself. You know, she's not trying to do anything nefarious. She's wanting to make sure that we have transparency throughout this process. Okay. I said, Luke. She's a former counselor. She's currently running for re-election. She's running for election to a county council seat. She's not doing anything wrong. And he's like, yeah, I understand. I understand. And so we were talking about that. And I said, I can send you the documentation. I can send you the video. And I explained what happened. I explained to him how Delaware County does theirs. I explained to him how Henry County does theirs. I explained to him how Randolph County does theirs. And Luke Britt was familiar with what I was talking about in Delaware, in Henry, in Indianapolis, in Randolph. When I explained how Madison County did their public test yesterday, he did not know what I was talking about. He did not understand it, and he was as confused as all we were. Now, I let him know that the clerk in Madison County, Linda Smith, is clueless. She's as clueless as it gets. Linda S. Smith, Madison County clerk, is clueless in Madison County. All right? And she's not in charge. She's not running the show. She just does not have it. Okay? I told him that Russ Willis threatened. Those other counties don't have a Russ. They do. They're just different. But at least they're not as stupid as Russ is this way. I got to say it. Russ is a special kind of stupid. Russ is a very special kind of stupid. So I told him that Russ threatened Rebecca. And Luke didn't like that. And I said, he said, you need to take this video down or else. And Russ Willis, the lizard man, said, all sorts of crazy ass things. Said that she was breaking the law because we didn't do the test right and we only did part of the test and da-da-da-da-da-da-da. I'm letting you all know that Luke Britt, the Indiana Public Access Counselor, said today that I can request those records and they cannot deny me, period. Okay? I want you to hear what Russ said at the end of this phone call.
To even discuss or debate.
Yep.
The machines work that she took pictures of would show some candidates, but not all the candidates. That would be unfair recognition that she's putting on Facebook for those candidates. We don't think that's fair.
Well, that might be something that you can do. She can put them. Yeah.
Chris, information section that I just gave you in the IC code, that if there was a public information request, he's advising that we would, accept that request and then deny it based on this law.
Okay. Well, yeah. So I'll have to do that, and then
no standing to deny those records. So today, I, Kristopher H. Bilbrey, filed a record request with the Madison County clerk's office for the records from yesterday. I told them that I wanted every piece of paper that they printed out and had in their little beautiful hands. I wanted copies of the receipts. I wanted copies of the long papers. I wanted copies of everything. I want copies of the resolution that they read. I want copies of everything that was discussed in that meeting, and I've got videotape evidence of it, and they better give me copies of everything. When they deny me, if they deny me, Luke said file a complaint immediately because he will get it turned around. They cannot deny it. And he will make sure that they are aware that from now on, Rebecca, Cindy, Joe Blow, Kristopher Bilbrey, whoever, can walk up into that building, can live stream the open meeting, and can take pictures of any document that they would put out on the table for our eyes to look at. There's nothing wrong with that. Yes, Brandon. That's hilarious. So, Russ Willis, you suck. You lose. Linda loses. Linda doesn't know anything. Russ doesn't know anything. I don't have a picture of Jeff Graham. Jeff Graham doesn't know anything. Rebecca Crooms was right. Cindy was right. Kristopher Bilbrey was right. And now what's going to be hilarious? We are right. And what's going to be funny is at the beginning of the meeting, Russ said, we don't listen to the public access counselor. That's opinion. We deal with law. Until Rebecca and everyone else started giving them law. And then they said, well, we are dealing with the public access counselor. Listen to public access counselor 18 FC 63, yada, yada, yada. And now we're like, okay, let's talk to the public access counselor. So I call and I talk directly to the horse's mouth today. And tomorrow I'm going to take it directly to the horse's ass. And he's going to be like, well, we don't want to go with the public access counselor. We want to go with the law. So Russ Willis, you're defeated. You're an idiot. The clerk's office is in Madison County is in a world of hurt. And I'm telling you, your machine is smoking. I think you needed to change some oil. You needed to grease some parts. You guys are breaking down. And it's a new day coming in Madison County. The citizens just got to keep on it, folks. It's a big, big, big thing. So I just want to let you know, we defeated Russ, and it sounds like there was some kind of meeting over there today. And Russ showed up, and he showed his he showed his ass. And so I yeah, not face to ass. Yeah, right. Take a glove so you can shove it in the horse's ass. Yeah, I will. I will try to see. It would be very interesting to see if any Democrats receive the King Book Out campaign mailer. It would be hard to deny it as a campaign mailer if it was only sent to Republicans. I will check and see if the Barbers received it. I'll see if my grandparents received it. My grandparents, because my grandmother's Republican, my grandpa's Democrat. So I don't know what.
Charlize.
Did Charlize receive one?
If Charlize got one, Jeff Robinson, hardcore Democrats.
They did get him? Oh, we don't know. Okay, yeah. Can we? I don't think you can get the horse shit back in the horse. I think it's kind of like the toothpaste in the tube. Once it's been squeezed out, I think it is where it is. We just kind of have to bury it and move along. All right. Now we are going to move on to Henry County. And I want to let you guys know there is you guys did receive, okay, wait a minute. You did receive this mailer? Okay, so then they did send it to other people other than Republicans. But it would still, listen, I'll try to, because all of this would be public, because it's not a campaign. So if it's all government, then they need to be able to fork all of this over and explain the whole process. So I will be issuing a records request to John Brook as soon as I get off the live, trying to find out what's going on. We're out to piss everybody off tonight, Stumblefoot. Pissing everybody off, especially this guy. He is a stupid looking person. And I hope she's offended. I hope this person is offended. Clueless in Madison County. I mean, I just pointless. All right. On to Henry County. Henry County tonight had a Henry County Council Henry County, let me see. They had a Henry County Council work session. And trying to see. I don't know if it would be better.
Angela Cox should be here. Part 2 of the discussion on budgeting numbers. Mandy should be here about the EMS. I also forwarded a PowerPoint to you via email last night, I believe, or yesterday. And Angela Cox should be here. Part 2 of the discussion on budgeting.
Okay, this was the council, and they were supposed to be talking about several different things. And a lot of people felt as though they really went outside of their area of expertise. And they really dealt with a lot of things they should not have been dealing with. They were talking about a lot of things they should not have been talking about. There were concerns that they were talking about how they balanced the budget, a comment, and now they were doing additional appropriations, and they talked about when they did the 5% raise and had to dip into reserves. Susan Hoon, who's running for commissioner, was talking about inmate medical contract. And at one point, she said something to the effect of it was a cheaper contract, but unfortunately, that does not include all the services. They'd already spent $150,000 on inmate medical this year. This year, it's only March.
Well, I bet this new plan doesn't cover inmates being shot by beanbags.
I'm sure it did not. I want to take you up here to just some of
that. The liaison for our memorial. Stacy?
I have a question for you, Kenan. So this is really interesting. Is there a next step, or is there an action step from the council, or is it just informational?
This is more informational, but it's also good for other departments to know. Angela, for example, she's been involved in grants, other organizations, people that are represented in here are on committees that seek additional funding. I mean, we have ARPA that's winding down, we have opioid, but ARA has a great reputation at the state level for administering grants, and it's good information to know. We had a good relationship with Victoria, I think your predecessor, and Eric Fry, and they worked with us. I think we got with the money.
It shows the opt-in Health First Indiana money for 2025. We received the maximum amount in 2024.
Okay, I want you to listen to this. This is the health. This is the health. The director of the health department. I want you to listen to this lady and the counselor go back and forth.
Receive the maximum again for 2025, which is the 1.4 million. And then I know that says maximum underneath that, but that's just meaning where it says the county match, that's the minimum match that we have to come up with to that maximum number.
How's that relate to what we've budgeted on your, I don't remember the number, 1159 or something?
Yeah, looking at our 1159 is what that, and I just want to point this out just kind of as a point of reference. This year, our group insurance is $247,500. That's 78% of that maximum amount of money that we would have to have that match. And that's just, and I know I'm not telling you that you can do anything. I'm not, if I thought you did it on purpose, we'd be on Fox 59 duking this out, but
Join the crowd of people doing that these days.
So I know it's not on purpose, but that, that kind of says something there. 78% of my tax levy, if, at 317,940, just going to daggone health insurance.
So Angela, the 317,000, that would be from the 1159.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
That's really not a change as far as our budgeting. I don't remember
I
what
don't
it was
think
this
it's
year.
terribly much.
Yeah, I think it's like incremental. It's not substantial.
And one of the things that, in just kind of getting my brains back together after COVID, is I gave you copies from the first couple of days in January, starting with 2021, then 22, then 23. So in 21, we're coming off of that first year of the pandemic.
Find where this is.
So the question would be, if we used last year's actuals.
Kind of over the map. We can't do anything until we see the Baker Tilly, because that would be indeed just doing a
Well, it
board.
doesn't matter whether it's a 0.4 or a 4% raise. It still doesn't change the fact that those of us who are in a finite setting.
So she talks about
in order to
how she talks about here that Senate Bill 4 from last year. Very interesting, her take on this.
Why can't you have it in front of me?
Because, well,
you and I came on together and things that directions we've made.
We won't put you on the spot and make.
Listen to what Kenan says to her here.
State money.
Here they inflated.
Listen to this.
And the reliability of the.
Are you going to allow me to keep anything over that? That would have normally prior to the Health First funding. Are you going to keep that or not?
We haven't had that discussion yet, but it sounds like we really have to have that discussion.
Well, right. So there's that piece of it. And what is that threshold? If we're shooting for the minimum, that.
But I have a question, because did you just say that based on some report, you don't think your people are underpaid?
That I gave you all a copy of that book that was from Indiana.
I have it. I saw it recently.
And they were doing a study of similar positions throughout the state.
We weren't that bad.
We weren't.
So does that make you question the reliability of the WIS data or no?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I do, because if they're looking at,
here it goes.
That was another reason that I had my head exploded about that 5% raise, was because I knew that there were departments out there that were going to inflate wages as soon as they got the money. Delaware County did, immediately. And so I think that.
I
it'll
mean,
be
from
a
their
couple-
state Senate Bill 4 monies last year, they inflated, that's
Uh-huh.
the extra money we're talking about.
Yeah.
The
And I know that
looking
because
at-
they've been poaching my environmental staff.
Yeah, you
ever
mentioned
since
that
I
to
came
me.
out. So. he
Before,
tipped his
before
hand.
the state money, you feel like your pay was competitive?
Before the state money, we were competitive, yeah.
Could you do me a favor?
Yeah.
Could you go on WRTV and say the positive things that you just said?
The positive thing?
Yeah, that you're much better off than 6 years ago, that you're competitive with other counties, that, you know, I just think it's nice that it's not just negative news that Stacy reads in the Courier.
Oh, well,
That maybe there's some positive things that directions we've made. Just
Oh,
off, just
We
offset.
won't put you on the spot and make you do that.
It's
So-
just a request, but it's obviously up to you.
I have another numbers question. So the 1.4 million, you have to match with 317,000.
And you go-
So you wouldn't have that. So that's 1.1 million left.
let's see.
Can you go
So
on
the-
WRTV6 and talk about how we're in a
1.4,
much
we're
better
gonna-
space now than we
I'm
were
pretty
6 years
confident we're
ago?
gonna get that match
That was
Right.
really
because of
strange.
our
I mean, I'm sure
Then
you
you have
there
to
was a
match with the
joke,
1159
kinda,
funds.
The
kinda.
So you
317, so it would be
wouldn't have that.
1.4 plus the 317.
Oh, okay. I thought, okay.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Yes.
Well, I think we've been told by different departments, it'd be nice to know sooner. If there's just some data we have to have from the state and from Baker Tilly. And see, like 70 counties use Wagner, Irwin, Shealy. They seem to have confidence. Now, is it end all accuracy? I don't know. Last year, they had the county council making above market. They just put out the latest and they made that correction. We're not.
Yeah, it was a request. You're right.
But that's what they had last year, and their post on social media that alluded to the fact that we were one of the 3 departments that were getting paid above. It was inaccurate.
Right.
They've since corrected it. So they're human.
Here in the courtroom to have a scheduled meeting with.
Like if you make the 100,000, that's enough.
So when we talk about the time frame and had it taken them 30 days to get where they needed to be, we would probably look in July and August before we were getting any type of billing and funding.
Bobby Plummer's up at the
We do
podium.
appreciate your diligence. I know you
She's a
work
commissioner.
hard like a lot of our heads, but thank you. We are seriously going to be discussing at our, thank you for coming, Joel, looking at possible lits. I gave you, council, how we rank as far as our average income, median household income, average household income, per capita income.
Listen to what he says here.
That's this, and we don't look very good. Our per capita income's 20,000 compared with a state average of 35.6. We're number 76 out of 92 counties in our average Henry County per capita income. Highest per capita income is Boone County, which is twice ours, basically rounded, 39,000 to 20,000. So at any rate, I bring this up because I know there's talk about increasing taxes, which we'll probably have to do to survive certain departments, but
Oh my
just be
God.
aware that we have a poorer than average constituency and citizenship. So I think we need to balance out the needs that were of our shortages, and a lot of it stems back to tax caps and other kinds of things. The cap they put on 4% on our assessed valuation last year when house prices were going up 8%, and a lot more than that in the donut counties. We were capped at 4%. So when we gave a 5% raise, we were actually digging into our reserves a little bit. Just be aware of it. Right now, our total lits, when you add everything together, is 1.8%. The average of all 92 counties is 1.89. And I know Shannon and Susan knows I would like not to go much above the state average, which is a moving target because every year it goes up about 0.01 to 0.02%. But be aware that we don't want to overtax. I think Reagan said that's not the problem, that we taxed too little. It's government spends way too much.
Yes.
So, but we have to pay for certain essential services that the state doesn't. So they give us the opportunity to raise taxes when they cut them. And they're sitting on a $6 billion surplus. We're sitting on a 290,000 versus billion. So it's up to us to make up the difference, apparently. So what we're going to be talking about more extensively, and there's been some talks with like 3 of us at a time. There's an EMS lit. Right now we're paying $300,000 to Newcastle per year. We heard in January, Mandy talking about a significant shortage with the ALS. We're going to have to see with the billing. We're going to have to see, but an EMS lit is an option for us. GeoLit, they did pass this legislative session that what was 0.2% last year, and a typo is actually 20% for operations. And that's going to help us. You should have gotten an email from Debbie, where the Sheriff's Department, because of the 0.2, we felt, even though we knew that was a mistake and the State Board of Accounts knew that was a mistake, we had to take $415,000 out of GeoLit to meet what was literally in the law at that time. So what right now, Susan, I think you can address this, but we're short like $500,000 in inmate medical that we took out of the budget for 2024. Uniforms, $44,500. Janitorial supplies in the jail, $47.9 thousand. Inmate supplies, $15,000. Jail maintenance, $50,000. Jail utilities, $50,000. Now that
Henry
adds
County
up to
citizens, it's
about
coming.
$300,000 more than the $415 that we.
They're going to
took
be
out in
raising your
September.
taxes.
I looked at the latest that we had from Debbie on our budget updates, and that does, if this is passed, which she's advertised because additional appropriations have to be advertised, to take this up at our April 10th meeting, this maxes out the jail. The only buffer we might have is last year we had about 200,000 in supplemental we got in August, September, that time frame. We can't count on that because it's not guaranteed. But last year.
Tell
we
the
got
sheriff to
200,000.
quit
That might
abusing
be the buffer we
inmates.
could
That would help.
Look at, but we won't know.
Yeah,
that until the fall. But
yeah.
we do have
Okay.
enough in there to, with the 20% operational, to take care of what Debbie advertised.
I think the takeaway is that we could definitely cover that expense this year because we have reserves, but it's not sustainable.
Right.
Whereas the expenses are recurring, so that's the problem.
That is the problem. And
That
at the last
is
meeting we had, I know Shannon, and
the
we need
problem.
a clarification from AIC on this, said that actually that limit of 20% is for us who took out this, like 2020, the jail lit, that it actually.
Yeah, I don't know what
20%.
Tom's
But our
doing.
mortgage
There's
payment
no
is-
limit for
Well, that.
us, right? Or
Yeah.
is there a question
Yeah,
about that?
well, the question is, our
When he's posting as
payment on
Connie
the
all
bond is
day.
1.7
Jack.
million, which is, I think Debbie said, it's paid out twice a year, like January, July, or July.
That's interesting, Joe. Didn't Sproles change the medical provider? I
The
don't
buffer we have
know.
Is a supplemental lids and other revenue sources, but most of it is the jail lit, and it brings in like 2.
Jack, that's exactly right.
And the bond payment's 1.7. So this chews up that difference, unless we get the supplemental lit, which last year was 200,000. So that's a long way of saying this is gonna, if this is passed in April, which it's legitimate funds that are projected that have been that.
Yeah, we had an interesting discussion because we used to have a different company for inmate medical and the contract cost was 300 some thousand. The contract price was going to go up significantly. So we moved to a different one. I think it possibly wasn't as inclusive with all of the different inmate medical expenses. So I think that either way, it's a reflection of inflationary healthcare costs, but we didn't budget for it. But there's a list of things that are not included in the contract.
And I want to let
then
you
when
know
people-
there are only 4 of your 7 counselors here. 3 counselors are not even in the room.
to do x-rays, when they bring people in to do dental work,
1454 that last year, they can come to us and ask. We have to give them a hearing. We don't have to grant the money, but I know there's strong needs there. I know that Sheriff is pointing out we're still not competitive. And what I thought would be 3 years is probably going to take 6 years. The fact that the state keeps strapping us with limits on what we can get from our property taxes. And that's good for the constituents. It's just, we don't know where we're going to get money. And those constraints come from the state. Yeah, we could raise all the money we need by just raising everybody's taxes, but that's not probably good for this county in particular.
No, it's not.
What we need, and I think Chad said this on Boss Hog, what we need are more bodies. We need to do things that lure people into Henry
Bring
County.
people in.
Yeah.
But if you're not bringing
organizations
people in, then you need to reduce
and I think we have
spending.
a lot of good things
Yes.
going for us. And there's things in the pipeline going for us. I know the EDC is working on that, but there's probably 10 to 15 organizations working diligently. that are not
Absolutely.
in the spotlight, working on making us more appealing. You know, the quality of life issues. A lot of people are doing a lot of great things, and they deserve kudos as well. But in the reality is, we don't get, the state doesn't help us enough to meet the demands that are legitimate demands out there. So there's an EMS lit, there's a, you know, the jail lit, they finally got straightened out at the state level. There's public service lit, public safety, fire departments have legitimate needs. EMS has legitimate needs. The new judicial lit, I wish Joel was here, we can find this out. At AIC, they did a pretty good job, and I forwarded you that PowerPoint from AIC from like the tax council, because whatever we do is going to require financing, and we maxed out our, what Jason called it, a maximum amount of something or other. We maxed out when we did that last geo bond for the 5.8 million. So we'll have to bring him into the discussion sooner or later. Questions?
So that's the Henry County meeting, folks. I'm telling you, the citizens of Henry County, you are in a world of hurt. And the sheriff is, right now, you don't have the same machine that I'm talking about in Madison County and in Delaware County and in Randolph County and beyond. You've got some elected officials that are really trying to do the right thing. Bobby Plummer, Steve Dellinger, you've got some counselors that are trying to do the right thing, but you have the sheriff who is an egomaniac and who does not like to be told no, and he is trying to put in place his network of people on the commissioner's office and the counselor's office that will do his bidding. And when that is developed, ladies and gentlemen, that will be his machine. And that's what we have to beat now. You have to go to the polls in May and you have to vote. You have to vote to keep in Bobby Plummer. You have to vote to keep Steve Dellinger. You have to send Susan Hoon packing from the what position is she in currently?
She's on the council, but she's running for commissioner, correct?
Yeah, but I'm trying. Oh, Susan Hoon is District 4. So even if she loses the race, she'll still be in. Okay, so that'll be that. Then we'll have to defeat her in 2 more years, but we'll handle that when we get there. But we definitely don't want Susan to be commissioner. We need to keep Bobby. We need to keep Dellinger, and we need to figure out what's going on there. We also want to keep the corner Brian Clark. Brian Clark is a good guy. He is who we want to keep as corner. We do not want anyone in that is a Sproles fan. So keep that in mind.
Stumblefoot has a really good point over here in the comments.
Where's he saying it?
Right there.
The feds have our local servants spoiled to all the monopoly money they're printing. Absolutely. That's exactly right.
They had all that
Yeah.
acrimony for all those years, and now
Yeah.
they're not going to be getting it anymore. And they're used to spending.
Yeah.
They had a slush fund
Yeah.
that made them all very, very happy. And now tightening back down their belts just isn't going to happen.
It's not going to be fun. They're not going to want to do it. And that's that old thought that, you give them an inch and they are never going to give that back. They just want more. And so that's going to be really, really bad. I'm working on a couple of other things from Henry County. We're obviously working on some record requests from Delaware County and beyond. So you guys, it's just getting heated up. The election is getting ready to break loose like nothing other. If you guys want signs, please reach out to the candidates, reach out to their teams, reach out to us. I can help put you in contact with people if you need Stumblefoot or Kid Rock said earlier, why is code enforcement taking down Ryan Webb's sign? And that is because they work for the axis of evil. They work for the machine, and they don't like seeing brand signs up. They don't like seeing Ryan signs up. They don't like Amber signs up, and so they're going to play games. And even when they are in places that are legitimately okay, they screw with them all the time. They go take them down, then they take their signs, they throw their signs away, they break their signs. Sometimes they put them different places, and they've got to go try to find them. It's a horrible game. That's all part of the headache of running. Signs are a bitch. If you're seeing someone messing with a sign, please get in touch with somebody and let them know. Let the candidate know. Let me know. I can let the person know. But if you ever watch someone take a sign or tear a sign down, get pictures of that person and send that in to us. Let us know, because that is very, very, very important. All right, folks, you guys have a great evening. Have a great weekend. And unless we see something just absolutely crazy occur, we will see you back here Sunday night at 9 p.m. Eastern. We might try to shoot out some shorts and some other content for you this weekend, so be on the lookout for that. But other than that, we'll see you back here at 9 p.m. Sunday. You guys take care. Have a great weekend. God bless each and every one of you. Love your family. Hold everybody close to you, and say your prayers, and continue to spread the word. You guys are fantastic. Thank you. Take care. Good night. God bless. Goodbye.